What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Full Metal Analysis. Trade deadline, man. Trade deadline happened. Some big moves were made. Unfortunately, none of them happened by the Detroit Lions. But we said this. We said this, Marcus. We would be surprised if Brad did make any moves, but also we wouldn't be that surprised if Brad did make no moves. And I heard videos and people were going off like people were upset that Brad did nothing. I ain't gonna say he did nothing, but we got a backup of a backup tackle, um, but nothing really substantial. How you feeling about the trade deadline, man?
Um, People are
Well, for the
angry.
Lions.
Yeah, no, people are definitely angry. I understand where their anger comes from because, um, I'm a type of guy that I try to get out in front of everything. If I see something on the horizon, I have no problem paying attention to that and thinking that it could be a sign of things to come. I try to extrapolate, if that's the word, anything I can from anything I get. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong. Um, I harped on the Pistons, and they've been playing pretty good right now. So it might have been one game might have been too quick a pull of the trigger, but it's a long season ahead of us. So I'm still keeping my eye on them, but they are doing good right now. But one thing that I guess I've been on the forefront of is Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes' philosophy as a GM. We've had numerous debates on the merits and the drawbacks of the Brad Holmes GM philosophy. Um, like you said, man, a lot of people are highly upset because they did expect Brad Holmes to do something, and I got to be honest. We like you said, we talked about it, and I told you I was listening to the radio, and I told you that I felt a strong conviction from the people on the radio that he was going to do something, and I was like, oh, okay, okay, hey, maybe I'm somewhere, left field.
Yeah, we've been Lions fans for the whole regiment that Brad Holmes has been here. If you don't know Brad by now, you ain't been paying attention.
Yeah. So Brad Holmes didn't do anything. He picked up a guy off of New England Patriots practice squad. No deals were made. Um, and I can't. I would love to get on here and argue back and forth with you. I will say that I would have liked them to make a move. Yeah, I would have. You know, and I can't give you a reason where you're gonna be like, yeah, you're right on that. The only thing that I could say is that at this point, every Lions fan is on board the idea of this team can win a Super Bowl. So, the only debate is the merits of, does it matter to give your team, and I mean, it would give the team a boost, but it would actually more so give your fan base a boost. Just seeing a move being made, it would give just some spark, because especially this week, coming off the Minnesota Vikings loss, a lot of fans were freaking out, and a lot of fans were looking at Brad Holmes too, and then you couple that with a trade deadline where you don't do anything. The fans are highly upset, and I understand it.
So look, it's funny that you said that you said every Lions is aboard to try that the Lions can win the Super Bowl. But like after the trade deadline, after Brad didn't do anything, I saw a lot of videos, a lot of people saying that with Brad not making a move, they don't. Some fans don't think that we can win the Super Bowl with Taylor Decker being hurt, with Mahogany going down, and no moves being made. Kind of, they're like, yeah, we're a good team, but are we a Super Bowl team? Like, it's a lot of people jumping ship on Goff now. You know, that Goff is a guy that needs everything to win, and we no longer have a strong line. The running game is not what it's been, and a lot of people are basically saying the same thing what we said about Johnny Morton, but they're turning on Johnny Morton. So I got to ask you, with no moves being made, are you still as confident about the Lions team being a Super Bowl team? I still think they're a Super Bowl team. I still think we can win the Super Bowl. I do. I did. I will say that I'm a little taken back about our offensive line being hurt, but I'm still aboard the ship that we can win the Super Bowl. But how are you feeling about it?
So I said a couple of videos ago that I looked at the trade deadline as Amazon Prime Day, or you could say Black Friday. You know, everybody gets excited for Black Friday. Everybody gets excited for Prime Day, but when you look at it, it's all the same stuff. Same stuff it was last year. It's stuff that you'll buy and you'll use it a couple times, and then it'll fade off into the distance. But then there's that one deal. You know, there's that one deal for that 65-inch TV. You know, and if you get that 65-inch TV, yeah, that's a great deal, and you're gonna hold on to that for a while. But you know, the 65-inch TVs are the first ones to sell out. You know, and that's the Sauce Gardners and the Quinnen Williams of the world. You know, those were the big time deals that were made during the deadline. The other deals are, you know, they're drones. You know, hey, a drone is cool. But you can only, you know, use a drone so much. So you know, fans are really, like I said, it started with the Minnesota Vikings loss, and the ball started rolling in the manner that they lost, coming off of the bye. It was a very bad loss, and then before we get to our next game, we got the trade deadline, and fans watch Brad Holmes, you know, essentially sit on his hands. My favorite thing coming out of this trade deadline that I heard was somebody saying, well, you know, you don't know what offers they had and what he turned down and who he was calling about and this and that, which bothers me when people go that route. But
I'm sure we're going to hear from Brad Holmes that it was just nothing available.
I told you, man. You know, we looked at the market, and you know, just it didn't add up with the value of the player and our lot. Yeah, we're gonna hear it at the end of the season. They'll ask him. But yeah, the my favorite thing I heard was somebody said, you know, if nobody would have told you that Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner were available before this trade deadline, and that's just that's just evidence that everybody, there's a price. Everybody's got a price, you know, and if you give the right price, then you could potentially move somebody that wasn't on the market. But if the price is right, and Brad Holmes is never gonna, you know, come out there and throw a stack of money on the table and be like, give me that. You know, this is just not gonna happen. So not making a move at the trade deadline, that was never, I never factored that in to them winning the Super Bowl, because like you said, Brad Holmes has never made a move that he wasn't comfortable with. Zadarius Smith was a good example last year when he brought in Zadarius Smith. that was a need. They lost Hutch, they lost their best pass rusher, but in terms of offensive linemen, they haven't lost. Well, they lost Mahogany. So but was there a guard out there equivalent to Zadarius Smith? They're gonna tell you no. But could you have twisted somebody's arm enough? Maybe, but I just don't expect it from this regime.
Yeah, man. I seen a lot of people. So, at the beginning of the season, I was gung ho about getting another defensive end. And a lot of people were upset about us not, at least trying to get a D in, or a lot of people were convinced we were going to get a D tackle. The Sauce Gardner and Trent Williamson's trade were surprising, but like if we had went out and got a DN or a D tackle, would that have made the difference in how I felt about us making a Super Bowl run? Honestly, as much as I wanted a DN at the beginning of the season, if we had went out of the guard, if we had went out and got a DN or a tackle, it would have been nice, but it wouldn't have changed my opinion. If we had went out and got Sauce Gardner, maybe, you know what I'm saying, that moves the needle a little bit. But right now, the thing that I'm worried about, I'm most concerned about, would be an offensive lineman. We need to. Mahogany went down, and what's the dude name? Every time we get on the pod, I forget his name, but I think it's like Auto or something like that. Everybody's depending on this guy. You know what I'm saying? And he's just a backup of a backup. Our offensive line has already taken a step back. Mahogany is gone for basically the season, and Taylor Decker continues to go out there and play half hurt. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm concerned about anything on this team, it's our offensive line. But to your point, who's available on offensive line? Like, you know what I'm saying? I heard people saying we should go get Zyler, but that was a pipe dream. That was, you had to make a whole bunch of parts and gears move to make that happen. So like who was readily available on the offensive line? So the fact that some people are off board the Super Bowl train just because we didn't go get a defensive lineman, that's not really adding up to me. I think Detroit Lions fans need to just kind of relax a little bit. The Super Bowl winners, people who have won Super Bowl, it's not always a perfect season, man. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna, everything is not gonna be put in its place, and you know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, it would have been a great feeling, but to completely abandon ship, I think is an extreme measure for some fans to take.
There was, I know the Giants had a guard that they put out there that they were willing to move. The Saints moved off of one of their, I think he's a tackle, but he plays guard. But they talked to Dan Campbell today, and the sense that I got was that there were people out there, but once they got put through the Lions filter, which is fit, culture, character, ability, once they went through the whole Lions, five characteristics in order to be a Lion. It kind of the sense that I got was that they kind of said, "Hey, we got the guys that we already have here aren't that far apart from the guys that we could trade for," and that that is what it is, man. Like, because they love Derek Barnes. Okay, so they love Derek Barnes. I think Derek Barnes is having a great season, but I bet you I could find me personally, I could find like 10 players in the league that are outside linebackers that I like better than Derek Barnes. So, but the Lions might be like, well, yeah, but you know, he stole ice cream from a kid one day, and we just can't have that in our locker room.
No, man. The Lions are built off, like you said, they want good guys. They want hardworking guys. They want football guys. You know what I'm saying? They want people who study their playbook. You know what I'm saying? And all about football. During the season, they don't have time for anything else but football and Halloween parties. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that's all I got on it. Though the last thing I will say though is I'm not off of the Super Bowl train. Jared Goff did an interview this week, and he put it best. Sometimes a little adversity is good for a team, and this is adversity. There's adversity, and then there's like the season is over. Like we're not in the season. Is like there are things that could happen where I would be like, oh, this season's over.
Right.
But none of that has happened yet. But there are things that I understand. Well, there are things that are concerning. I heard a stat that the Lions are averaging like 30 yards less on the ground this year. Jared Goff is on pace to be sacked more than he's ever been sacked in his career. And then people are up in arms with Johnny Morton. Can we get J-Mo the ball? Where is Isaac Tesla? But on a positive note though, and then the defense is doing what it can. They had a bad game last game, but your boy Josh Pascal, they activated his practice window, so he's returning to practice. They're getting back Rodrigo. They're getting back they're getting a nice little handful of guys back. Frazier, what's my man? Frazier that they drafted. Yeah, they're getting him back.
I forgot about him with the dude from LSU.
Yeah, that we haven't even seen him yet, have we?
I think he played. Did he play a little bit in a preseason, like one preseason game or something like that?
Maybe, but regardless, they activated his practice window too, so he's coming back too. So I mean, I think that's part of the reasoning too why they didn't make a move is that at the end of the day, they see these people coming back. DJ Breeze should be coming back here soon. Kirby Joseph is like I said, there's no timetable. His knee is they just want to take their time with it, and make sure his knee is right, but.
I feel like we don't need Kirby Joseph for the Washington game. Like we can go out and play with who we got for the Washington game, and then bring everybody back for the Philly game. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know if he's gonna be back for Philly. They asked Dan Campbell about it, and he didn't sound too optimistic about it. Like I'm sure he'll be back, but it sounded like it's gonna be a couple weeks.
So my last question to you will be about it is these things that that could happen. Let's say, just for instance, the Lions go out and they lose to the Commanders. How does that put you off the Super Bowl train?
It doesn't put me off the Super Bowl train. I guess I don't know how to define put me off the Super Bowl train. It would make me feel like this team can either win a if the Lions lost to the Commanders, I would say, well, this team could either win a Super Bowl or not make it to the playoffs at all. That's what that would do to me.
Okay.
Where would that put you?
I would have real concerns, man. I would have real concerns. I guess it would depend on what happened in that game, how they played. Was it our fault? You know what I'm saying? Is it more the same thing that happened in the Minnesota the game? Did we get screwed out of it? I mean, did we get screwed? You know what I'm saying? Did we play a good game? But stuff just happened where we just lost anyway. But I guess it would, but it would give me concerns. But I don't think I would be off of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'll be off of it, but Washington is horrible right now, and they missing half their team, so I will have real questions.
Absolutely.
But what about okay? Let's say they go out and they stump a mud hole in Washington, but they lose to Philly. How are you feeling then?
Um, if they go out and destroy Washington, which I expect them to, and then they go out and lose to Philly, that also would make me take a step backwards. Um, because I fully expect them to destroy Washington, and I don't expect them to destroy Philly, but I do expect them to beat Philly. And if they lost to Philly, then I'll have to look at Philly differently. That their team, because Philly has a tough. They got Green Bay this week, and they got us after that. So if depending on how that goes, um, well, regardless, regardless if they lose, if Philly loses or wins against Green Bay, it's not going to change my mind because I'm not sold on Green Bay. But if Philly does beat Detroit, then I have no choice but to continue to look at Philly as the top team in the NFC.
Yeah, I feel like if we lose to Philly, if we beat Washington real bad and then we lose to Philly, for me, I think it would depend on if we were healthy or not. See, because my only concern with this team right now is, like I said, offensive line and Johnny Morton figuring out the offense, how to call the offense right. Um, because I said it before, man. It's just like he doesn't make any adjustments on the fly. It's like, and I wasn't the only one saying that. I saw some other videos that were saying the exact same thing that I was saying. Like, you got to figure out if your game plan isn't working. You can't just sit there and stare at the field like, oh, it's not working. Ooh, do something. You know what I'm saying? It's not working. Change it up, switch it up. Um, and the fact that Minnesota blitzed the hell out of us, and you didn't make any adjustments to correct it, him or Golf. I blame Golf too because at the beginning of the season, Golf and everybody else was saying this is our offense. We've been running the same offense for 4 or 5 years now, and we know it like the back of our hand. So you should know better too. If Johnny Morton isn't making the calls and you see the blitz coming, check out of that play and run the right play. You know what I'm saying? You are the quarterback. Where's the Peyton Manning in you? Damn it. But yeah, I will have my concerns, but I guess it would depend on if we were hurt or if we lost full shift. Yeah, I will have my questions. But if we were hurt, I would just say we need to get some guys back, and we need to get some guys back. And if we don't have any guys back, then I might be off just for the fact that it don't look like we can survive with the injured players that we have.
I'm not even gonna ask that question. But if the Lions lose to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, Lions fans are gonna go absolutely insane. Not all Lions fans, but the portion of Lions fans today that are so angry at the trade deadline, man, if they lose to the Eagles, those fans are gonna come out in droves
And let me say this too, man. I wouldn't be off the board because Philly is a good team. So it's no shame in losing to good teams. So, but they're not as good as they were last year. And just like us, I feel like Philly has taken a step back. So I wouldn't be off of it, but it will raise some questions about our team. Like at the beginning of the season, I had no doubt that we were the best team in the NFL, and now I have questions.
All right, man. Well, speaking of the NFL, let's go around the league, see what we got going on from last week. It was a good week. We actually ended up tied 8-6 for the both of us. First game of the week was the Baltimore Ravens going to Miami. Miami was getting 7.5. We were both on Baltimore, the return of Lamar Jackson. It was kind of a quiet game to start off, and then all of a sudden, the wheels fell off for Miami, and Baltimore ran away with it.
Oh yeah, we suck. Lamar, remember who he was?
Tua had the Ravens won 28-6. Tua had one pick. Derrick Henry 19 carries for 119 yards.
I told you, dog. I told you when Lamar came back, he gonna smack Derrick Henry upside the head, say, "Get it together." And Derrick, oh, okay, Lamar, I got you, man. I got you.
Derrick had 100 yards last week, but I'm not gonna let the facts get in the way of your narrative. Atlanta went to New England to take on the Patriots. Patriots were at home. They were giving 5.5. We both picked the Patriots. I did say before this game that the Falcons were like the old Lions, where they might just come up and bite you, and when you least expecting it. I was partially right. They did come out of nowhere, and they did give New England a hell of a scare. But in the end, just like the old Lions, they still found a way to lose, losing by 1 point, messing up the spread. New England wins that one 24-23.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Yeah, definitely in Lions fashion. I'm looking at the headline. Patriots hang on to beat Falcons 24-23 after late extra point missed by Atlanta.
Yep. Two Lions fashion.
We got the Chicago Bears. I like this game. The Chicago Bears went to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. This was a tough game to pick. I went back and forth. I don't know how hard it was for you. Chicago did everything in their power to give away that game. Only to give away the lead with your favorite. They gave away the lead with a nice, I don't know, it was like a minute and it was a little over a minute, I think, left on the clock. And sure enough, as usual, Caleb Williams. I don't think it was a minute left, to be honest with you. It don't matter. Caleb Williams drove downfield. He hit none other than U of M's own Colston Loveland across the middle, and nobody tackled him. So he ran in for the touchdown. So not only did they win, but instead of kicking the field goal and winning by 1, they went out there and said, "Marcus, we got you." Covered that spread. Got that win for me.
Listen, man. I've been listening to the narratives around town, and for some reason, even though the Bears they do have a winning record, and they've been winning against less than average teams. Let's just call them bad. They people seem to think that the Bears are a good team, man. Are the Bears a good team?
You asked me that last week, and I said that the Bears are a good team. They're not a great team. They're not They're not a Super Bowl caliber team. They are a good up and coming team. It's just something about Caleb Williams, man. And good for him. He's doing great. He had a great game here. He threw 3 touchdowns, no picks, 280 yards, ran for 53 yards on 5 attempts. So, Caleb Williams just bothers me. But when Caleb Williams is on, he's a really good quarterback, and their defense is playing well. My boy DeAndre Swift did not play this game. Didn't matter. That's an up and coming. I believe he's a rookie. Up and coming rookie. Kyle Manangai. They've been trying to get him more touches. Well, with DeAndre Swift out, he got more touches. Dude carried the ball 26 times for 176 yards.
Wow.
On the flip side, Joe Flacco threw 47 passes for 470 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Wow.
This game was crazy.
No defense.
No defense at all. Chase Brown, running back for the Cincinnati Bengals, went on a little bit of, and it wasn't a rant, but they asked him a question and he thought about it and he was like, give it to him straight. Told the defense, he didn't tell the defense. He said that everybody needs to just do their effing job. But then he turned it into, because the defense was playing good earlier this year. So he kind of just went on a rant, and the coach, who should be fired, the coach came out after the game and said that he didn't appreciate that, and they talked to him about it. But the defense 2 times, I think they said that the Bengals have scored 80 points in the past 2 weeks and lost both of those games. So
yeah, the Bengals defense is awful, man. You know what I'm saying? They fixed the problem where behind where the cuticle was the problem, and now the only thing that's left is the offensive line and the defense. And yeah, man, and that's my problem with people continuing to say that the Bears are a good team. I don't think the Bears are a bad team. To clarify, I don't think the Bears are a bad team, but I don't think the Bears are a good team. And the fact that they have like the same record as us, and people are you get people coming on, y'all playing the Bears. Who cares? They're the Bears. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, man. They've been beating the Saints and the Giants and the Bengals. These are not teams that should strike fear into your heart or make you think that just because you can beat those teams that you are a good team. And I think that's what bothers me about people keep saying that the Bears are a good team. Let me see it against a good team. Let me see it against Philly. Let me see it against Seattle at this point, because Seattle is looking like one of the better teams in the league right now. But
well, obviously, once you're gonna get your answer as the season goes on, at the end of the season. But in the short term, you got this week that you got to get through, which is Chicago versus the Giants, and then after that, you could get your popcorn because the Bears are at Minnesota, home against Pittsburgh, at Philadelphia, and at Green Bay.
Wow.
Yeah. So you'll get your answer sooner than later. The San Francisco 49ers went to New York to take on the Giants. Giants were at home. They were only getting 2.5. I don't know what Vegas was thinking. We were both on San Francisco. Not Giants. The 49ers won by 10.
It's about right.
Jackson Dart tried everything he could, though. No fault of his.
Jackson Dart is only one man. With Neighbors down and Scatterable down, Jackson Dart is nothing but Dave Carr out there.
I understand what you're saying. Jackson Dart, who I don't even really care too much for, is way better than Derek Carr or David Carr. Derek Carr, I like. Denver went to Houston to take on the Texans. We were both on Denver. Denver wins this game. It was a ugly game, 18-15, and CJ Stroud knocked out.
Oh, CJ Stroud got hurt?
Yep, concussion. Left the game in like the first or second quarter, and he is out this week as well.
Dang. Well, I mean that game pretty much turned out how I thought it would be. I figured that the Broncos would win, but I figured the Texans would put up a fight.
All right. We got
now that CJ Stroud is out for next week, you can root for the Texans next week.
Man, trust me, man. I was looking at that hard, and that did factor into my into my thought process. The LA Chargers we're at Tennessee taking on the Titans. Nobody in their right mind would choose the Titans, and that is why the Titans covered. Chargers lost. Yeah. I think Chargers lost 2. They lost Alt again. Alt is now done for the season. So they lost 1 tackle. I think they lost somebody else in that game too. And Herbert was under duress the whole game, but Chargers win by 7, but don't cover.
Yeah, it was funny, man. I was watching. I saw the. I wasn't watching that game because I was working, but I turned it on, and I seen that. I'm like, damn, the Titans are up 14 to. I think it was like 14-9 or 14-10. I'm like, the Titans are winning. And you know what I'm saying? And then you turn your head and then you turn back and Quentin Johnson is in the end zone. He's like, oh, okay. All right.
Here you go. This is right along the lines of your Chicago Bears take. The Indianapolis Colts traveled to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. Steelers were at home. They were getting 3. Me and you both were on Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh ends up stopping the Colts. Jonathan Taylor held to, with quite positive, season low, 45 yards on the ground. Daniel Jones threw 1 touchdown. Steelers defense has had a rough season. They showed up for this game.
Yeah, man, the Steelers had to do something, man, because if they had lost to the Colts, who have had an easy schedule, man, and will continue to have an easy schedule for the rest of the season. But, I was like, same thing like you said, what I was saying about the Bears. Prove it to me. Be the good team. And the Steelers are supposed to be a good team. They shook me a little bit when they lost to Green Bay last week. I feel like they should have beat them. But if they had lost to the Colts, then it would have did 2 things. It would have legitimized the Colts as a good team, and it would have took me off board the train as the Steelers as a good team.
3 interceptions thrown by Daniel Jones. I'm not gonna be hard on Daniel Jones. I let him. I give him a mulligan on this one, but I'm watching you, Daniel Jones.
Well, don't worry about it. They go back to playing trash teams next week, so
they still got what's the name though, right? They still got a date with Kansas City coming up.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Your Carolina Panthers, my Carolina Panthers, America's Carolina Panthers went to Green Bay and put a hurting on. They ain't put a hurting on them, but they took it to the Green Bay Packers.
It was a tight game when they pulled it out at the end.
They pulled it out at the end. You believe in Rico, and Rico will do good things for you. 25 carries, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love, bad game, 273 yards, no touchdowns, 1 interception. Does this say more about the Carolina Panthers, who are 5-4, or more about the Green Bay Packers, who are now 5-2-1, and their only losses being to Carolina, Cleveland, and a tie with Dallas?
It says more about Green Bay because we all know who the Panthers are. The Panthers are an up and coming team, and I said that the Panthers would be a pretty decent team. And with the addition to your boy, I'm gonna start calling them your Carolina Panthers because your boy plays to them. With the addition of Darnold onto that team, it put the Panthers over the top to from a up and coming, just below average team to about an average team, and and the fact that the fact of Green Bay showing over the last few weeks, the disappointment in their character of play, they did come up and beat they did come up and beat the Steelers last week, but that was a disappointing game. It was a tough game. I feel like they shouldn't have won that game. They kind of squeaked by and won that game. And to your point, they lost to the Browns. They tied the Cowboys when they should have blew them out. And even the game against the Carolina Panthers, it was just a rough, ugly game that they should have won, but they just kept making like every 5 minutes, Jordan Love was turning over the ball or Green Bay was turning over the ball. They were making some type of mistake, and that was going to be my question to you: Are Green Bay frauds? But I'll answer it for you. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you get a tight game like that, and I'm gonna put it on the coach. Matt LaFleur is not the guy that I want in a situation like that. All I could see is the camera, you know, cutting to him on the sideline with a scared look on his face, looking at the jumbo. Like Matt LaFleur is not that guy. If you could build a big lead, or if you, I can't even say if you playing a less than team. If you don't build a big lead, like if it's going into the fourth quarter and it's tight, I don't trust Matt LaFleur.
So my thing is, man, before the season, I think everybody thought that Green Bay was an okay team. You know what I'm saying? They would do decent. You know what I'm saying? But they would just be an above average team. And then the Michael Parsons trade happened, and all of a sudden they shot to the forefront of a Super Bowl championship winning team, and all of a sudden everybody was like, "Oh, better watch out for Green Bay. Better watch out for Green Bay." And then they came out and they did the unthinkable. They beat the Detroit Lions. Ooh, even more so. Better watch out for Green Bay. Better watch out for Green Bay. But I think Green Bay is who you thought they were at the beginning of the season, man. Um, good, good teams good teams win those tight games, and Green Bay has been in a lot of tight games that they shouldn't have been in the first place. So, yeah, man, I don't think Green Bay is the team that everybody hyped them up to be at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I think people just want Green Bay to be good. They want Jordan Love to be good. They want Green Bay to be, back in the conversation like they always were. And I think also the way the Lions lost last year, I think that soured a lot of bandwagon media people who were repping the Lions, and then the Lions lost in the first round, and they jumped off the bandwagon, and they just wanted to hop on the next the next trend. So now they're seeing that it was just a trend. The Minnesota Vikings came to Detroit. JJ McCarthy, TJ Hawkinson, straight Michigan revenge game. And they took it to the Lions. The Lions just couldn't get out their own way. Nothing, everything.
And get right.
Everything that they tried to do, nothing worked. Everything fell apart. It was a bad loss. We
Yeah.
that was the old Jim Mora. We couldn't run the ball. We didn't try to run the ball. We couldn't do diddly poo offensively.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was a bad loss, man. But I feel like it was more of an implosion on the Lions than the no I will no I ain't gonna take nothing away from the Vikings because their blitzes had us discombobulated and we did nothing to adjust or counteract those blitzes. So yeah, I'll give the Vikings their props.
Dan Campbell's been doing a lot of talking this week, but he said he just said that to your point in the last video, like he's like everybody runs stunts. Like you you just gotta be prepared for that. And he said even Gibbs, like yeah, it's not ideal to have Gibbs constantly back there blocking. That's not the position they want to have him in. But at the same time, Gibbs got to do better. And, and he know he can do better, and we know he can do better. But yeah, man. It was just a rough game all around.
Yeah, it was a rough game.
The Jacksonville Jaguars went to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. We were both on Jacksonville. The Raiders, man. The Raiders lost, but they looked fantastic losing. It's the best thing I can say.
No, man, the Raiders are going to be a good team. They just need some more pieces, man. And they need to get rid of Geno.
Well, your boy Geno, 29 of 39, 284 yards, but 4 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Geno looked decent from time to time.
I mean, it was 4 touchdown passes, but really it was more so 3 touchdown receptions. The return of Brock Bowers, played him in fantasy, went off 12 catches, 127 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was pretty much the story of Las Vegas. But Jacksonville, not to be outshined, had a good game. I don't know what they did. They did, but nothing really shows up on the stat sheet. But they did just enough to win the game. Took it to overtime, and I don't know. Maybe the Raiders missed a kick in overtime. I couldn't tell you.
I don't know. I didn't see any of the games, man. This job is taking away my.
It's right here. The Raiders tried to go for 2 to win.
Oh, got greedy.
I hate that. I know. I hate that move, man. I hate that move. Dan Campbell was somewhere like, yeah, go for 2.
No. I don't think even Dan Campbell will go for 2 with Geno at the helm.
Oh, with Geno at the helm, I don't know what he would do with Geno at the helm. He would. Geno wouldn't be at the helm. The New Orleans Saints went to Los Angeles to take on the Rams. The Saints are sad. The worst quarterback in the league right now has been benched. The Tyler Shuck era began. It didn't matter. The Rams blew them out by 24.
Wait, who was they playing again?
Who was the Rams playing?
Yeah,
Saints.
Oh, the worst quarterback in the league.
Trash.
Nah, the way you turn on people is just unforgiving, dog.
Nah, man, nah. Fool me once, shame on you. The Kansas City Chiefs.
If Rattler had played, man, it would have been a respectable score.
Absolutely not. Would not have been a respectable score. It would have been even worse. And Shuck still would have came in the game. The Kansas City Chiefs traveled to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Bills are at home. They were getting to Bills win by 7.
Dog, I'm mad I missed that game, dog.
Yeah, you took Kansas City. I took Buffalo. The last thing I think my dad asked me if I saw Mahomes do something. I said no. Only thing I saw was Mahomes chuck it up there like 40 yards deep after taking a bad hit and throwing into double coverage, get picked, and that was game.
Oh, I took the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Chiefs
should have known better.
can't does is this the
Mahomes
year?
cannot beat the Chiefs. Mahomes can't beat the Bills in the regular season.
And the Bills cannot beat the Chiefs in the postseason. But is this the year that the Bills can beat the Chiefs?
According to the way the season's been going, everything's been falling according to history.
That's not a good sign. The Seattle Seahawks went to Washington to take on the Commanders. I took the Commanders. You took Seattle. Washington is a bad team. Jaden Daniels is fighting for his life out there. They were down by like 21 points in the fourth quarter, and Jaden Daniels was still out there and
Why?
incurred his injury. I couldn't tell you why. I would say ask the coach, but even he couldn't tell you why because he said that was on me. I probably should have took him out the game.
Duh.
On the flip side,
Hey, is Jaden Daniels RG3?
Jaden Daniels is absolutely on pace to be in RG3. RG3. I mean, I have to go back and look. I'm pretty sure he did finish his first season, and he was a phenomenal rookie of the year type player. And then the next year, man, he couldn't stay healthy, and
couldn't stay healthy.
That just sounds very similar to another Washington Commanders quarterback. So, Jaden Daniels is definitely on pace to evolving into.
And ironically, what ended RG3's career is the coach kept playing him even though he was hurt. Where did we see that recently?
So Marshawn Lattimore placed on IR, Luke McCaffrey placed on IR, and Jaden Daniels out. Terry McLaurin questionable.
How long is Jaden Daniels out for? Season?
No. We got the Dan Campbell diagnosis, which is expect the quarterback to be out for a while.
Yeah, man. Like for real, dog. Like it feels like they're gonna, even though he's hurt, they're gonna be like, I know you banged up, but can you go? If you just give me the nod, we'll put you in. You know what I'm saying? And it feels like the same speech they was giving RG3.
The Commander season is over. And it's
just say he's done for the season. Like start over next year. Why even bring Jaden Daniels back? Why even have him play this season? Your season is over. Your quarterback has been in and out, has been hurt in and out of the season. Let him rest up.
I'll put him back out there. He hasn't played. He hasn't played well enough for me to be like, we're gonna shut him down.
Sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes you get a bad run. You just gotta call timeout, start from scratch, man.
Nah, I mean we talked about it all off season, how they was going crazy, making trades, making free agent signings, like going all in for this year. So
yeah, unfortunately, all the guys you traded for are done. Debo Samuels, done. Von Miller, done. Terry McLaurin, I ain't gonna say done, but I mean, whew.
Nah. See, you just I'm just gonna move on. The Arizona Cardinals went to.
And I said he does, but he not having a good year.
I think he won a contract. I don't know if they re-signed him, but I know he's looking for a contract. He's your only 1,000-yard receiver on the team. So that might be why your quarterback doesn't look that great, because he's
Could
been
be.
out half the season as well. Last game of the week was the Arizona Cardinals at Dallas. You originally picked Arizona, but you said if Kyler doesn't play, you wanted to switch, and then you tried to. I don't know what you're trying to do.
No. I wasn't trying to do anything. I stuck with my decision, but I did not know that Tony Brissett was the backup quarterback. Because if I had known that, I would have stuck with it, but I didn't. I said what I said.
Well, Brissett was a backup quarterback for this game, and he was backup quarterback the 2 games before that, and he will be the backup quarterback for the next 4 games going forward, because the Arizona Cardinals have put Kyler Murray on injured reserve, and Brissett's gonna have the next 4 games.
Well, now I know, and no one's after battle.
Now you know.
Go.
Now you know. And Dallas, their defense is awful. They made a trade for Quentin Williams. Now you can lose 2 less games instead of all the games you're losing. And
I mean that's a good trade and all, but the Jets were losing with Quentin Williams. I mean, they weren't doing much over there. I mean, he was doing his part, but he wasn't making a whole lot of difference on a supposedly good defense. So I don't know how much he's going to add to a bad defense.
I don't know, man. You go from sleeping in the dirt to sleeping. You get a box now. You got a box. It's a box. So that brings our total to I am 60-64. I'm scratching at the door of 500. You still sitting pretty, 69-55.
Starting to sweat though.
Oh, I'm man. Just we halfway through the season. I still got time. This is a tougher slate of weeks. This is a tougher slate of games. You are batting lead off this week. First game of the week, Thursday Night Football. The Las Vegas Raiders going to Denver to take on the Broncos. Broncos are giving the Raiders 9.
That's not a question. The Broncos are going to win this game. I like the Raiders, but they do not have enough to take on the Broncos. The Broncos have been rolling the last couple of weeks, and they will go out and they will take it to the Raiders.
9 is a lot, and I would take that 9. Brock Bowers is back. It's Thursday Night Football. I wouldn't be my luck that he, steps on the thumbtack and but I am gonna have faith that Geno Smith is gonna continue to just get the ball to Brock Bowers, and they'll cover the 9.
9 is a lot, but it's Geno Smith.
That's a good point. The Raiders. The Broncos are definitely trying to get some defensive takeaways, because I'm waiting on their defense to take off like they did last year. The Atlanta Falcons off of a. Oh no! Atlanta Falcons are traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Colts are at home. They are giving 6.5.
6.5. I'll still take the Colts. I'll take the Colts. The Atlanta defense is not too bad, man. But not the Colts have been rolling. I'm gonna stick with the Colts.
Yeah, I'm with you. I will also take the Colts. This is another opportunity for Atlanta to cover 6.5. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah,
But Colts coming off of a loss at home, and Atlanta just, we just got no
is,
faith in Atlanta.
is Kirk Cousins playing, or is it
No,
or
Penix
is
is
it
back.
Penix?
Penix is back.
Penix is back. Okay.
Yeah. The Baltimore Ravens traveling to Minnesota. Minnesota is at home. They are getting 3.
I am gonna go with Baltimore. For whatever reason, whatever witchcraft or spell that the Vikings used against us, it will have dissipated this week, and it'll been worn off, and they'll be back to their former loser selves.
Yeah, I don't expect JJ McCarthy to start every drive in his opponent's territory this week. Again, I think that Baltimore can put up points. So I go back to my theory that if you force JJ McCarthy, let me clean it up. If you force JJ McCarthy to complete 20 or more passes, then that's a great recipe for a defense, because I don't think that he has that in him. So yeah, definitely give me Baltimore.
Also, if the Vikings blitz Baltimore like they blitzed us, Lamar will run all over them.
It's true. The Cleveland Browns are going to New York to take on the Jets. Cleveland is on the road. They are getting. I'm sorry, Cleveland's on the road. They're giving 2 to the Jets at home.
They're giving two. I want to pick the Jets, but I have no reason to. Junkins is the star in that game. He's the only star in that game, and he will have the best game out of both teams. And with that being said, Cleveland will win that game.
I'm not mad at that, but I'm just going to go completely off script, and I will take the New York Jets simply because they essentially gave up on the season, and this is just a perfect opportunity to win for no reason.
I honestly hope you're right, but they just gave up their big man in the middle, and Junkins is the Browns' only weapon, and he gonna run up the middle all day.
It's a great point, and they might end up losing 29-3. That's a possibility. But at the same time, it's Dylan Gabriel for the Cleveland Browns, so this is a nasty game.
Hey,
The New Orleans.
hey, before you go on, man. So Cleveland gave up. Cleveland gave up. Sauce and Quinn Williams. Do you still think they're going to fire AG? And they got three. They got three first round draft round picks. Do you still think they're going to fire AG?
No, I thought they would only fire AG if he didn't win a game.
Right. Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, I think he's. I think he'll be fine. Especially this was like life. Like we just traded 2 of our best players. So what can you keep the expectations went out the window with that. So this is pretty
Um,
much a free season.
ESPN was speculating that with the trades that they made, the Jets have a path to pick up a quarterback in the draft. Do you think that Justin Fields is out of there? They're moving on from Justin Fields and they're drafting the quarterback.
That is that's what the cool kids are doing. Is, you use Justin Fields for a year and then you move on. So I wouldn't expect any less of the Jets.
That's the cool
you,
kids are doing.
you had to you had to do everything. You had to do everything underneath the sun to get them motivated to finally get the first win of the season. So, unless they win this game and Justin Fields just goes on a crazy run, it's still gonna be tough. And to Justin Fields' benefit, there's not a lot of talk on quarterback prospects coming out of this draft this year. So
That was gonna be my next question. Like, if the Jets do move on from Justin Fields, is there a place for Justin Fields in the NFL?
As a backup, Justin Fields is a great backup. And that's probably all he's ever going to be, which is, it's fine. I wish I was a backup quarterback in football.
Besides kicker, it's the cookiest job in the league.
Yeah, you can make a little bit more money. You got more job security. Yeah, and if things go right, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield might find yourself a team and a franchise contract,
and be a star 5 years later.
Yep. The New Orleans Saints are going to your Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers on fire right now, getting cocky, giving 5.5 to the New Orleans Saints.
Oh man, listen. The Panthers will win this game, but what you just said is all the way true, man. Like, my cousin is a Carolina Panthers fan, and boy, is he getting cocky. I want to root for the Panthers, man. I like the Panthers. You know what I'm saying? I want to root for these guys, but I mean, these guys are just getting too big for their britches.
You said the Panthers will win. Will they cover?
What's the cover again? What's the
5.5.
spread? Yes, they're playing the Saints, right?
Yes.
Yes, they will cover.
Yeah. Earlier in the year, when I said cocky, it was more like earlier in the year. This spread probably would have been like 3, but yeah, now it's 5.5. They putting their big boy pants on. But I'm sure if I was a Panthers fan and we were like, when's the last time the Panthers were 5-4?
Yeah, but listen, just like I told my cousin, man, like I told him, like you got one more game, man. You know what I'm saying? After the Saints game, you got a rough stretch.
After the Saints game, they have after the Saints game, you got Atlanta, 49ers, Rams. Wow, we're like halfway through the season. That's crazy.
Yeah. We're exactly halfway through the season.
Panthers might make the playoffs this year. Will the Panthers make the playoffs this year?
No, I think Tampa Bay beats them twice. I think the Rams beat them. What else did you say?
Their remainder of their season, they are at 5-4. They got the Saints, then they play the Falcons, the 49ers, the Rams, Saints again, Tampa Bay, Seahawks. Whew. Tampa Bay, Seahawks, Tampa Bay is the end of their season.
The Seahawks will beat them. The 49ers will beat them. The Rams will beat them. Tampa Bay will beat them twice.
You could be looking at a 9-8 record. That might get you in the wild card.
Yeah. I think they can make a wild card.
That's at the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they make I mean, when you put it like that, I think they can make a wild card. How many guys they won? They won 5.
Yeah.
3 more games. It's 8 and 9. How many guys they got left? I said they lose 5.
They got, where'd that go? There it is. Boom, boom. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more games left.
Yeah, I said they lose 5, and then the Atlanta game is not a guaranteed win for them either.
No, they would. I mean, yeah. So if they lose 5, no playoffs. If they lose 4, possibly playoffs. So also all come down to they're gonna have to beat a good team.
Yeah, they're gonna have to beat a good team
and beat the teams that they should beat. So we'll see. Buffalo going to Miami. Miami is Miami is at home. They are getting 9.
So I think we all know the answer. So let me ask you this, man. At what point does Miami just fire everybody?
Miami is on vacation right now. Not the players. The players are obviously, and the coaches have to show up. But I'm convinced everybody in that front office, since they're already in Florida, just decided to just take a vacation for the season. And at some point, everybody's going to come back, and they're going to see what a mess this is. And I think people are going to get fired, but it's definitely not going to happen during the season.
Oh, okay. So you think it's let it burn, just let it keep burning, and let it burn down to the ground, and we'll clean it up after the fire goes out.
Yeah. I like the way you put that. The New York Giants traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Bears are at home. They are giving 4.5.
Unfortunately, man, I gotta go with the Bears. The Giants just got too many injuries, man. And once again, Jackson Dart all alone on that island by herself out there.
I'm with you. It's not hard at all. The Giants, injuries, no injuries. Give me the Bears. This is another tough, ugly game. Jacksonville Jaguars are traveling to Houston. Houston is at home, and they are getting 1.5.
You said C.J. Stroud is out, right? So who is the Texas backup?
Davis Mills.
Jacksonville. I've never heard of Davis Mills in my life.
Davis Mills actually was a starter for them for a couple years. I don't know, a couple years, but he was a starter. It was 1 year where they just couldn't find a starting quarterback, but he started out. Yeah, man, I went back and forth on this. I really did go back and forth on this, but this is a nasty game. I will take Houston, simply because, CJ Stroud is not playing.
Yeah. Hey, Davis Mills could be a decent quarterback, but I have no clue who this guy is. He's just a shadow figure in my head right now. All I see is just a shadowy figure out there playing quarterback.
He's not that good at all. New England Patriots are traveling to Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
Buccaneers are at home. They are giving 2.5.
What are the Bucs injury report looking like?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Chris Godwin not expected to participate in Wednesday's practice, questionable. Bucky Irving not expected to participate in Wednesday's practice, questionable. Hassan Reddick, questionable. And that's it. No. Abuka looks not on the injury report.
Um, if Godwin and Bucky not playing, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Patriots, man. Um, um, the other two guys were playing. I would feel like the Buccaneers will win this game, but I'm gonna roll with the Patriots. The Patriots have been rolling. They've been on a good winning streak. I think it just continues to go until the Bucks get healthy.
Patriots have won the last two games, but they blew out somebody. Oh, that was Cleveland. They blew out Cleveland, but in the first half, Drake May was under a lot of pressure. He looked a little shaky, and then they barely beat the Falcons last week. If Tampa Bay turns this into a shootout, and you asked me to pick between Drake May and Baker Mayfield, I'm taking Baker, so I will take the Buccaneers.
Not mad at that.
Arizona Cardinals traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. Seahawks are at home. They are giving 6.5.
The Seahawks have just been beating up on bad teams. I know I said I would have picked Brissett, but the Seahawks have just been on fire lately. I can't see a team like the Cardinals beating them even with Brissett in there. So yeah, give me the Seahawks, man. Like we've been saying, Jackson Smith and Jigba is unstoppable.
This should be a good game. Oh man. This should be a good game. And Jacoby Brissett has been playing really well for the Arizona Cardinals. He's been playing so well that this guy named Marvin Harrison Jr. was only 4 yards away from a 100-yard receiving game, one touchdown.
Hey, so are you admitting that the problem with Marvin Harrison Jr. was his quarterback didn't like him?
No, I am admitting that Jacoby Brissett is such a phenomenal backup quarterback. He's even making Marvin Harrison Jr. look good. Marvin Harrison Jr., by the way, yet to crack 100 yards in one game this season. I don't even know if that's true. This is only the last 5 games we're looking at.
It won't be it won't be this game, but
yeah,
game.
But
it'll be the next game.
But this is Jackson Smith and Jigba and Marvin Harrison Jr. were on the same Ohio State team. So if Marvin Harrison Jr. had any motivation to ever crack 100 yards, this would be the game. But I just can't do it based on the fact that at the end of the day, I would be relying on Marvin Harrison Jr. I've been on that train before. It leads nowhere. So yeah, give me the Seattle Seahawks.
I thought you were gonna pick the Cardinals.
No. Okay. What's that? 3 Cardinals. 1, 2, 3. I feel like I'm missing a game. Oh well. Figure it out later. All right. So then we got the LA Rams going to San Francisco to take on the 49ers. 49ers are at home. They are getting 4.
They getting 4. Give me the Rams, man. I've been saying it all season long. I think that the 49ers aren't as good a team as they were, and I still stand by that, especially with Mac Jones as their quarterback. Mac Jones has been having an all right season. I don't want to say a good season. I'll say he's been having an all right season, but not enough to make me have any faith in him. I think Puka Nacua is back. Puka Nacua had a great game last week, and I think he continues to have a good game against them. And The 49ers they beat up on they beat up on bad teams, man. But when they play a good team, I don't think we'll see the same drive out of them.
Yeah, I'm with you. I can't pick against the Rams right now. They are pretty hot. So yeah, give me the Rams. Our game of the week: Detroit Lions traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders. Commanders at home. They are getting 8.
I am interested to see what our line looks like in this game, but I am fully confident that we come out and destroy the Washington Commanders. Washington is a bad team, and they're missing half their starters.
Yeah, Detroit may have lost to Minnesota, but they still haven't shown us anything where they have lost the ability to destroy lesser than teams. And Washington right now is definitely a lesser than team. So we'll see if they can continue that trend of dominating bad teams. Pittsburgh Steelers going to LA to take on the Chargers. Chargers are at home. They are giving 3.
The Chargers have got my confidence back a little bit, man. I was high on the Chargers at the beginning of the season. They kind of lost me when they had some injuries. They kind of lost me a little bit, and they've been getting back up on the high horse, but not enough to beat the Pittsburgh. Not enough to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I will roll with the Pittsburgh in this game, and I will see you next week, Chargers.
I am going to. Ooh, this is a tough one, but I think I'm gonna go. Oh, tough, man. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with my boy. I'm gonna go with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Pittsburgh is just. I feel like they're just due. They lost to Green Bay, but then they came back and beat Indy. Now they're going to LA to take on the Chargers. Aaron Rodgers is throwing touchdowns and Aaron Rodgers is throwing touchdowns, but he's not getting any yards. I don't know. You know, he's just Aaron. He's old. He's an old man out there. But he's still got high IQ. He's still a good to great quarterback. But Justin Herbert is in his prime. So if they let Justin Herbert get loose, Pittsburgh's gonna have a hard time keeping up. But at the same time,
surprisingly, Pittsburgh defense it's not been great this year.
It's not been great. Now they have an opportunity to get after Justin Herbert with the offensive line being super banged up. They did make a trade at the trade deadline for my man from the New Orleans Saints, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Offensive lineman in the trade deadline.
Crazy how that can happen. It was a couple. Well, yeah. Anyway, the last game of the week is the Philadelphia tough game. Philadelphia Eagles traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. Packers are at home and they are giving 2.5.
Man, the Packers didn't beat the Panthers, so there's no way they're going to beat the Eagles.
It's a tough game. The Eagles. I wish AJ Brown was not playing. That would make me feel a lot better about what I'm about to say. But there's been no indication on whether or not he's going to play. But they think that he was only going to miss last week and that he should be back for this game. But that being said, see, it's not even Sunday Night Football. This is Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football. Man, this is a tough game. The Eagles are not playing their best football. The Green Bay Packers play really bad against bad teams. and they play good against good teams. Flip a coin. Minus 2.5. 2.5 points. Green Bay. I want to take Green Bay, man. I do. It just makes so much sense. But at the same time, it's like Philadelphia. Allow me to reintroduce myself. What did I do last week? Last week, oh, that didn't work out for me. So yeah, I was trying to remember. I was like, I'd rather lose with this team than lose with that team, and then I end up losing. so by that math, I'll take the Green Bay Packers. They're due for a win. They play well against good teams. Minus 2.5 is rough, but if the Green Bay Packers lose, though, it'll be a you know, it's a win-win for me. I either win the pick or America realizes that the Green Bay Packers are not it.
Hey, you can't lose.
Yeah. Well, man, I think all hell's breaking loose upstairs. So I'm gonna go ahead and we got our picks in, and we're gonna see what happens with this Washington Detroit game.
Yeah, man. I think everything will be fine. Put out some of the fires over this weekend. I'll get a grasp on reality a little bit. But until then, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.